Hello everyone, I'm the XG Sparkster. I'm here on behalf of Talk eSports, and we're going to do a quick rundown of Team EnVyUs' Advanced Warfare in the last 6 months. So before we get stuck into Team EnVyUs on Advanced Warfare, let me take you back 6 months to Call of Duty Ghost, and on the 2nd of November, ESWC, when they had the initial roster of Merc, Formal, JCap and Nameless, it came to light that Formal had approached the owner Hastro about a possible move for Crim6 and Karma, and while replacing JCap and Nameless. Basically, this all blew up during ESWC during the mid-tournament, and in the end they slumped, and I think they finished 8th place. But this is the initial starting point for Advanced Warfare, as this shaped the roster, which led to their initial campaign. So basically, the video which I was planning to first create before, well, actually I should say after COD Champs, was did Hastro drop the ball? Because the decision he makes here has affected EnVy since the start of Advanced Warfare, and every tournament and every placing they've got to so far. So during mid-ESWC, Nameless and JCap are initially dropped but then picked up again by Hastro, leading to Formal leaving Team EnVyUs to join Optic, and EnVyUs acquiring Clayster from Optic in exchange. So basically, going into Advanced Warfare, the roster was Merc, Nameless, JCap and Clayster, which is a pretty strong lineup when you look back at COD Ghosts and that history, but Advanced Warfare, completely different game. The first MLG Advanced Warfare event was MLG Columbus, which Team EnVyUs finished in a respectable, 5th to 6th place during the open event. In the end, they lost to Optic Gaming 3-0 in the winners bracket, and then fell to Team Caliber 3-0 as well, respectively. Though they earned only $1,000, you could argue that it was a decent finish. Top 6 on your first event, only a few weeks out after the initial release of the game. It's not too bad, but the fact that they won $1,000 they were disappointed with, and they would have liked to go on higher. A team such as EnVyUs, with those players and the caliber of their organisation. Just over a month later, the next LAN event, which was UMG Orlando 2015, Team EnVyUs went into the pool play Group C and ended up finishing 3rd with a record of 1 win and 3 losses, which was very disappointing. Team EnVyUs at this point, getting used to the game, been out for a couple of months, and they finished 9-12th in the end, which was out of the money. And this in the end led to a change in personnel on the roster, as in January, after the poor performances of UMG Orlando and arguably MLG Columbus, Clayster and JCap were traded to Denial for Saint and Zuma, which seemed like a positive move at the time. They had a poor performance on LAN and in the MLG Pro League, and in the end they just finished, despite these roster changes, they just finished 7th to qualify for MLG Pro League Season 1, which occurred on the 20th February. 20th February. In the end, they finished 5th to 6th after defeats to TK, which was 3-2 and FaZe 3-1, after initially beating Denial in round 1 to earn $4,000 in prize pool. That's $1,000 per player. 5th to 6th, that's not where EnVyUs want to be finishing. Their form at MLG Columbus of the Season 1 playoffs, represented pretty much their performance online in the MLG Pro League. They finished 7th in the Pro League and 5th to 6th on this, so there wasn't much change between their performance on LAN and online. Not too much. A few weeks later, pretty much, it was COD Champs Regionals, where they ended up finishing 5th to 6th again. Bit of a trend going on here, after losing 3-0 to Optic Gaming and 3-1 to Optic Nation. The prize pool was only for the top 4 teams, and they weren't in the money, so they narrowly missed out on that. But they placed decently and had a good seed going as champs. So there were some positives there. Slight improvement maybe on the Season 1 playoffs, but not a great deal. at COD Champs itself, you know, the first day, Friday, and beginning of Saturday, they finished a very strong start in Group E after going 3-0 up and winning all the maps 9-0 and not losing a single one. You know, very impressive Team EnVyUs. So, you know, there was a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of belief in the squad then. But going into the bracket play, they ended up losing 3-1 to Aware Gaming from Europe. So, you know, not many European teams had very good events at the COD Championships this year, as we all know about. And they ended up falling into the losers bracket, though they did beat Optic Nation 3-2 in the losers bracket, despite being 2-0 down. So there was some spirit there was some fight. Being 2-0 down to Optic Nation to come back and win 3-2 is still an achievement. And they ended up winning Biolab S&D 6-4 in the end. They ultimately went on to lose to FaZe Red, getting 3-0'd, eliminating EnVy from the tournament, giving them a placement of 9-12, once again, which is out of the money, with only the top 8 teams being in the money. And with COD Champs being, you know, the biggest tournament of the year, with the biggest prize pools, it was pretty clear that this EnVyUs team wasn't going to stay together. Also, they had a poor performance in the MLG Pro League, finishing 4-8 before roster changes were made. Hastro decided to drop Zuma, who went on to FaZe, Nameless, who went to TK, and Merc, who was loaned out to Justice, as they still are, and picked up TP from Optic Nation, Proofy from FaZe Black, and Looney from TK to accompany Saints. Now, arguably, at this current time, you know, they are third in the MLG Pro League. They are currently 18 wins and 12 losses, thanks to 11 win streak, which is a lot better than the 4 wins, 8 losses, which they start off with before the changes. And they have a strong team, you know, TP, very good OBJ player, very experienced, championship winner. Proofy, be on every team, you know, good select. It's going to be a bit of time to find his feet on this game, but a very strong player now. Looney, from who they picked up from 2K, and arguably 2K took a gamble on Looney, and it ended up being their star player. So, you know, they arguably picked up the best player in him. Most recently at UGC Niagara 2015, as of the 25th of April 2015, EnVy, with Merc replacing Saints, who could not fly or travel, I should say, to Canada, ended up finishing second place to Team Caliber. Though only Team Caliber and EnVyUs were the only 2 pro teams who attended the tournament, they ended up finishing second with their new roster, so it was all good experience. And they head off to Gfinity in 2 weeks, which I believe is the, what is it, the 10th, the 9th and 10th of May, with the same roster, Merc filling in again for Saints, as he still can't travel. And hopefully, you know, Team EnVyUs, they'll be hoping they can pick up better placing than they have done in the last few events, but only time will tell. So 6 months in, it's hard to argue that Team EnVyUs' campaign so far in Advanced Warfare has not been a failure, because it has, in all honesty, so far. And it all came back to that decision at ESWC in November, where Hastro decided not to listen to Formal and pick up Crim6 and Karma to join Merc on the roster, but instead stick with JCab, Nameless, and pick up Clayster. Though Clayster is, you know, doing very well on Denial now, you know, one of the best players in the game, you could argue, it didn't quite work for Team EnVyUs. A lot of the players found it hard to adapt to Advanced Warfare, and that roster, which they were going to have at the start of the season, none of the players are currently on it playing as an active member in the league. And apart from Merc, who will be attending a few European, Gfinity and UGC Niagara, just because Saints can't travel. But still, there's a big skill different gap between Merc and Saints. So, yeah, basically, Hastro dropped the ball. He had a chance to have a roster with Merc, who, yes, you know, you can compare this to the Optic Gaming, you know, Merc for Nadeshot, then Formal, Crim6 and Karma for the best layers in Call of Duty history. What I'm saying here is that EnVyUs had a chance to become what Optic Gaming are now. They had a chance to be going to every event and competing for the top prize. I'm not saying that EnVy's roster as of now cannot compete. You know, they're a very good roster, very good team. Some individual players are fantastic. Their league forms turned around significantly in the last few weeks, but they're not on the level which Optic Gaming are. I'm not saying they cannot defeat Optic Gaming, but consistently they're not on that same level, don't have that same slaying capability, and it's going to be tough, in all honesty, for Team EnVyUs. You know, saying that, they haven't had any great LAN tests or experience with this new roster, especially as Saints will not be competing at Gfinity, and I imagine that'll be UMG California, which will be the first LAN event which all 4 stars will be competing at, or is it maybe it's X Games? Okay, so I have to look that up. Sorry, but basically, Asteroid Team EnVyUs had a great chance to become a powerhouse in the Call of Duty scene, have a great advanced warfare after a fairly poor Ghosts. They picked up Gfinity at the end last year, towards the back end of the Ghost season, Gfinity, and yeah, you know, by all means, let me know what you think. You know, do you think EnVyUs are going to go on from here and prosper? Maybe you don't think it's been that bad a season, maybe when you compare to some other teams, but you know, let me know. And thank you very much for listening and watching. I suppose, you know, it probably hasn't been that interesting, but you know, if you guys could support this video, that would be huge for us, because here at Talk Esports we've just started. There's 4 of us, and hopefully going to try and establish a good core base going into Black Ops 3, which we're all very excited for. So, you know, please like the video, share it, subscribe to our channel, and hopefully, if you want more of these videos on other teams, please let me know. We're hoping to do more videos, bring them out more consistently. We're going to do, you know, Pro League reviews each week, so that'll be interesting. You know, we'll be doing one post ESWC and Gfinity. Maybe we'll even do a preview bracket show for Gfinity. So if anyone out there wants to get on board with that and join us, then let me know. Send us a message on YouTube or Twitter. Our Twitter, it will be below, and my personal Twitter. So please contact us. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry, it's been a bit, you know, monotone probably. You know, I'm not very good at this kind of talking to a computer. So yeah, I hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.